Hello there. Welcome to Lively.
And as I promised, I'm back here again with the emotional algebra. Little late though, yet I'm still not done with this. So, starting on with the episode, we have emotions for each and everything. Each thought the mind or the brain makes creates a new and different emotion. Surprisingly, emotions are there everywhere, and emotions have an interesting connection with the habit formation too. Habits are further dependent on our actions. Whatever action we do is then based on three things: attitude, emotion, and situation. Okay, notice here now. Emotions have an interesting connection with habit. Habit is dependent on an action, and action is further dependent on attitude, emotion, and situation. Though each component of action is necessary, but here the emotion plays the major role because it stimulates you to do that action. Let's take an example of anger. You broke a plate, let's say. You broke a plate in anger. In anger. So the emotion, which was anger, caused you to react on a situation and break the plate. Emotional algebra is the way which explains us why we did an action and what we must have done to make things and scenario go well instead of what we did. And since no action can be caused without an emotion, it is termed as emotional algebra. Emotional algebra is a way via which you have control on all your emotions. So far, algebra is a branch of mathematics and controlling emotions is a branch of life. When we combine them all, we make emotional algebra. Don't worry, it's not same as mathematics, nor am I going to teach you that. It's as simple as a practical exercise you can do to avoid making mistakes and avoid making the 10 unhealthy emotions. Yes, the 10 unhealthy emotions: the anger, anxiety, disappointment, frustration, guilt, jealousy, rejection, resentment, sadness, and stress. Yes, stress is also an emotion. In order to control these 10 most common and unhealthy emotions among people, we need to understand an equation of emotional algebra. So here the equation goes: thought plus trigger equals to emotion. Thought plus trigger equals to emotion, rearranging which we get emotion minus trigger equals to thought. So this is the main hero here. Emotion minus trigger equals to thought. This is the most easy equation and perhaps the most necessary as well. When we talk about the trigger here, we are actually talking about something that forces us. It is similar to the trigger of gun, where the bullet is the thought it triggers. Or in other words, stimulates the thoughts. It makes our mind to think more on something. It has the ability to make our mind think. And literally, when one is affected by these triggers, he or she starts to think a lot. A lot. And when one thinks a lot, it causes an emotion. Therefore, thought plus trigger equals to emotion. By analyzing the thoughts, We need to understand that where are we making mistakes? And all this can be done with the help of emotional algebra by the second rearranged equation. Let's take a practical situation here. Let's say you came into your child's room and accidentally you kicked off his one of the most important toys. You saw him using his mobile while studying and you were outbroken by that. Therefore, you didn't see his toy lying on the floor. You hit it hard and it broke. Let me repeat the situation again. You came into your child's room. Imagine you coming into your child's room and you caught him rather, using his mobile while studying. And you were outbroken by that. You wanted to scold him, you wanted to reprimand him as soon as possible. And you didn't see his one of the most important toys lying on the floor. Unaware by the existence of toy on the floor, you hit it hard and it broke. Angry on you, your child speaks something horrible in front of you in a high pitched voice. He abuses you, but you were angry as well. You scolded him and took his mobile away with you. You finally then unlocked the mobile to at least see what your child was doing while studying. And surprisingly, to your most awkward surprise, you saw he was searching a meaning of a word on Google. And now you genuinely would feel so embarrassed, right? You hold on to your feelings and you understood that you were wrong. You went back in his room and you say, I'm sorry, dear. And he replies you, okay. Examine here the thought, the trigger, and the outcome. The trigger was your child's action of looking at his mobile. The trigger was your child's action of looking at his mobile, of searching a meaning of word on Google. Your thought was that he would be watching something, he would be streaming something, something wasteful, which combined together to form an unhealthy emotion, anger. Now, in case if you would have subtracted the trigger from your emotion, in case if you would have subtracted the trigger from your emotion, that is, if you were to confirm whether what was he actually doing, you would have saved yourself and your child from being the victim of unhealthy emotions. This is how today we need to subtract the triggers from our emotions and move on with the thoughts. We need to examine and look at our thoughts in order to see where are we making mistakes, where do we need to learn and to grow more. We need to then change the way of thinking by practicing emotional algebra each and everywhere we can, by understanding how unhealthy emotions are we creating each day, each hour. I repeat the 10 unhealthy emotions which are coming on you, which are driving your other emotions, which are driving your actions: anger, anxiety, disappointment, frustration, guilt, jealousy, rejection, resentment, sadness, and stress. Thank you.